Hello, I'm back. Hello, it's me. It's been a while. It has been like 2 months, I think, since I last shared anything here on this channel. We have a lot to talk about. So grab your water, coffee, tea, what have you, and let's chat. It has been a very long time since I've shared a video, shared anything, and I owe y'all an update. What's been going on? I'm just gonna chat. This is gonna be a whole chat video, just kind of talking about like what has been going on, how things are going, how our homeschool is going, how this year has been going, kind of like a life homeschool update. Life has been busy. I mean, okay, I say that, everyone's busy. Everyone is busy. This year in particular has been the busiest that I have ever been. I think it's been a lot of things. 5 kids is a lot. I would love to hear from any fellow homeschool moms. I feel like going from 4 to 5 kids, like the logistics of it wasn't hard necessarily. Like it wasn't hard like adding a 5th baby, but just everything else has felt very hard. Homeschool has been very difficult for an array of reasons, but one of those reasons is this 5th baby. He is wonderful. He's a great baby. It's not him, but it's just having a 5th child has been very difficult, and like doing all of the things and like making sure homeschool is happening, you know, also trying to get him to like nap and eat and like all of the meals and all of the laundry and all of the cleaning. I said this in the last video, it's just a lot. I want to say that I'm like turning a corner. I feel like I am starting to gain some semblance of order again. I specifically remember when our 4th son was about to turn 1, and I vividly remember it was at that point when I felt like I was finally getting my crap together. Like I was finally taking care of myself. I was having quality, consistent self-care. It was shortly after he turned 1 when he started sleeping through the night, which meant I was sleeping all night. We were all sleeping and feeling rested. And I was much more equipped to like handle all of the things. And, you know, those first few months after my 4th son turned 1, it was the year of COVID. But before that happened, I have very vivid memories of feeling like I had my arms around everything. Like we had a good rhythm to our day. I myself was in a very good routine, like a very steady, healthy routine. I felt good. Our home felt good, like taken care of. Everyone, it just felt good. And I have not felt like that since then. You know, I said this in the last video, COVID was a big impact, had a big factor into, you know, how things have gone. But I just think like having 5 kids and doing so alone most of the time. So I feel like I'm getting there. Like, we are getting there. We are slowly moving into a better rhythm to our days. Part of that is me. Like, I am working still at getting into a better solid morning routine, because it truly affects and dictates how my day goes. And without that, it's like everything else goes to the wayside. But I am improving and things are getting better. So as far as like life, it's still crazy. It's still busy. My husband is still working a lot. We have been working really hard to find him better employment, different employment that will allow him to work less, be home more, so that we can all have a better balance to our life. That most certainly is one of the top reasons why it's just been hard. Him being gone so much is just very challenging, and it puts a lot on me. And so because of that, I know that that's like a big reason why it has taken me so long after having our 5th baby to like get into a good routine again, a good rhythm. That being said, though, okay, so life is still crazy, life is still busy, but you know, I said I have definitely gotten into a better routine myself, which is helpful. And then secondly, changing our homeschool, it has been the best change, and I'm honestly a little annoyed at myself that we haven't done this sooner. So in my previous video, I shared that I was going to try block scheduling, and that has been a game changer. I had a couple ladies ask me like how it's gone and how it is working. Is it working? It is working, and it is the best. So I admittedly did not fully understand what block scheduling was prior to a couple months ago, until I started like looking into it. And I realized that that is exactly what we needed. So I have a son who, in particular, he really struggles with transition. I really didn't like understand like how it worked, or like how do you get through everything if you're only doing math on a day, if you're only doing like language arts on another, like how are you getting through everything? I did not realize, well, they're doing like 2 or 3 lessons at a time. Hello. So that is what we started doing. Mondays and Thursdays are our reading days. So on those days, my son, who does The Good and the Beautiful, he does 2 lessons of language arts. My other son, who does All About Reading, he does 1 to 2 lessons depending on the length of those lessons. And then Tuesday and Friday are our math days. And so on those days, they each do 2 lessons of math. And for reference, we use Horizons Math. I will link the video where I talk about our experience with Horizons Math and why we love it and how much we love it. It's great. In a typical week, we are getting through 4 lessons of math, 4 lessons of English language arts or reading. And then on Wednesdays, we have our co-op day. So on Wednesdays, we go to co-op, and they're doing science, history, geography, art, having time with their friends. I get time with my friends. It's just an all-around great day. So Monday we do reading, Tuesday is math, Wednesday is co-op day, Thursday is reading, Friday is math, and it has been working so well. And again, I'd say particularly for my son who struggles with transition, he was having a really hard time going from journal, which we do a journal entry every morning to start our school, like to start our homeschool day. We start with a journal entry, and he was having a really hard time going from journal to reading to math all within the same day. And I don't know why exactly, but for him, just knowing that the only thing he has to do today, the only thing he has to think about is, I have to do math today, and then I'm all done. I have to do reading today, and then I'm all done. I don't know like what the science is behind that or why that is helping him so much, but it is. He is fighting me way less. There's still a little bit of fight there on some certain days, but I would say overall, he is, this year he was the one who was really giving me a hard time about getting any homeschool done. And since changing to our block scheduling, it has decreased, I'd say 75 to 80%. Like his entire demeanor toward homeschool has really changed. And I'm so thankful that that was the answer for him. I mean, I am admittedly like shocked that that's all that it took for him. That's all that it was. Like he just really was struggling with transitioning from one thing to the other. So for him to just know this is what we're doing today, that's all he needed, and he's doing it. So okay, aside from all of like our homeschool, our block scheduling, all that's going great, the one thing that is really changing for us for this for the remainder of this year moving into next year is we will not be taking a summer break. And if you have followed me for any length of time, you know that I live in the state of gloom, otherwise known as the Midwest, Michigan. It is dark and gloomy here. 9 out of the 12 months, I really don't like it here. I don't like it, but that's a separate topic. But I, in the past, have been very resistant to doing school all year round because we have such a short summer. We see the sun such a short amount of time that I do not want to be in here wasting time. Like, school will always be here, and I have never wanted to do school in the summer. However, this year in particular has been so difficult. We have taken a lot of time off. And this has been a really good example for me this year of how everyone's homeschool years from year to year will be different. I have such a wide age range that I think that our homeschool will continue to change year over year. I'm not sure if we will ever see a year that even looks like the last year. I am not to a season yet, and I'm not even sure that I ever will be, simply because I have so many children in such a wide age range, from 8. So currently I have an 8-year-old. My oldest is 8. My youngest is 1. So from 3rd grade down to an infant. This year has really helped me to accept that, and it has challenged me to go with the flow and to not put limits or boundaries on what our homeschool looks like, and that it doesn't have to look like it did last year, because newsflash, it's not going to. So because we have taken so much time off this year, I want us to just keep going. For example, in every year prior to this one, we are at the end of our curriculum. We are rounding out, we are finishing up everything. And last year, I think it was, I'm pretty sure last year at this time, we were nearly done. And the week or two before we went on vacation in May, we were completely done, and we did our end of year presentations, which I will share more about because I had some requests last year for that. So I will share more about that, what that looks like, because we're still going to do that this year, even though our year didn't look like it normally does. But so in years past, and I know specifically last year, we have always been done by May, like the middle to end of May, done, completely done. And one year we were done in April, and I just kind of like kept us moving along for like a few more weeks. This year, so in comparison, this year we are only about halfway through. Halfway, okay? So there are days where I sit there and I'm like, what have we been doing? What has been happening? What have we been doing? What have we done all year long? Like, what have we done? And then I remember that it has been a very difficult year. It has been difficult in more ways than one, and it's going to be okay. Everyone's going to be okay. We're all going to be fine. Everyone's going to be fine. And I'm going to look back at this year in particular and be like, wow, that was a doozy, but we did it. So in order to just continue the momentum that we have now, we are going to continue doing school all summer long. And my plan for how to like squeeze that in is to do a lot of our school in our morning time. So right now, what we are doing is morning time and lessons are separate. And I think probably June, July, and August, our school will happen in our morning time. And then once the fall comes, I will probably move it again to the afternoon. So that's the other change, which I will touch on. So the summertime, I will be putting our school into our morning time, and having like a cutoff, like if whatever we have done by 10:30, that's it. And then we're going to go on with our day, so that none of us feel like we are losing our summer break. We're still getting our summer break, but we're also still moving forward so that mom doesn't have an anxiety attack. Okay. And, that's the other change that I realized that I needed to make, is I needed to move our lessons to the afternoon, which is why y'all haven't seen any videos from me, because the afternoons are when I film these. When everyone's having quiet time, the baby is napping, the toddler is napping. This was my time. But it has been hard to squeeze it in because I had to move those lessons that we were doing in the morning, I had to move them to the afternoon, because otherwise it was not happening and it was too chaotic. It just was not working for any of us. So again, still trying to work on a better schedule for myself and for everyone so that we can make all the things happen. The other thing that I have done more of this year is just being a little more spontaneous and just getting us out more. We were home for so long doing nothing because of COVID for so long. And this year, we have been able to do the things that we hadn't been able to do for a long time. We have been able to go to our favorite science museum. We have been able to go to the zoo. We have been able to go spend time with friends, our other homeschool friends, and we do that regularly. So this year, while in my head, I feel like it was hard, I know that there were so many good things that came out of it. My children are still learning. They have learned lots of things this year. And while, you know, according to our books, it looks like we haven't done anything, but I know that we have. And I know that even though the curriculum might not be done, we have spent a lot of time together. We have grown closer as a family. The boys, their relationships have continued to grow, and they have formed connections and bonds with one another that would have never happened if we had not been home together. All of that stuff is more important. And even though I have been doing this for several years now, sometimes I just have to remind myself that it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be fine. So that's my life update, our homeschool update, how things are going. Oh, I think I see the sun. Praise the Lord. I need the sunshine, y'all, desperately. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around in my absence. I appreciate it more than you know. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about block scheduling or what that looks like, what that could look like, I would love to elaborate a little bit more and kind of give you a more in-depth view of the specifics of how our day goes. If you're interested, let me know down below. I will see you in the next video sooner than later.
The world could fall down, it's gonna